Hello, my name is Caroline Shea, and in this screencast, I will discuss my experience of working in a primary school setting during the making of an international STEM project. Before beginning this screencast presentation, I would like to state that all pictures of minors and adults have granted permission to be photographed and recorded. In a primary school situated on the outskirts of Limerick City, a group of 6th class students was partaking in a STEM project that was going to be brought to Brussels by their teacher in order to provide evidence to many researchers on the topic of STEM education at primary school level. My role in this project was collaborative, as I worked with another member of my PME course, and together we documented the students carrying out the project in order for the teacher to present the images and video clips in a presentation in Brussels. Before entering the classroom, my classmate and I spoke about how and what we felt was important to document and how we would work within the classroom. In addition to this, we also spoke with the school's management and the teachers associated with the project on the day to fully understand what was expected to be documented and if we could interact with the pupils. After this, we entered the classroom with our equipment, including phones, to take close-up shots, while the camera on the tripod took full classroom and extended clips. While filming, my classmate and I spoke with the children and asked them to describe to us what they were making and doing, both on an individual basis and collectively. With a background in art and design, my knowledge of STEM was limited entering the classroom. However, as the day went by with filming, speaking to school management, and of course speaking to the students, I began to see firsthand the similarities between STEM and art education, and I also saw an opportunity to link the two subjects for primary school students. When researching my idea of bringing art into STEM education, I came across this interesting quote in Forbes magazine. This states that the motivations and goals behind both subjects are the same. While also researching and gathering a greater understanding of the similarities between art and STEM, I came across this TED Talk.
There is an artificial line between STEM and the arts. It's not my phrase. I stole it from Dr. Jackson Hayes in Rhodes College.
I found his speech to be very eye-opening and made me evaluate my own teaching and how I can incorporate STEM into my classroom. The similarities I found were heavily related to design elements in the subject I teach. When designing, students need to plan, record, and evaluate their outcomes. This is the same approach this group of students took when working on this STEM project. The students were also using digital forms to aid the creation of their work, similar to a student studying art, as they use the internet to research and document their work. This led me to explore a resource I could create for teachers to transform the STEM projects into STEAM projects that they could teach to primary school students of all ages. My proposed resource would be to create a set of bespoke workbooks that would aid students throughout their STEM projects while also incorporating art. For these workbooks, they would be heavily related to the sketchbook that would be traditionally seen in an art classroom. Throughout this workbook, students would continue to complete their STEM projects. However, artistic practices such as sketching and photography would be implemented throughout to encourage the use of art in relation to science, technology, engineering, and maths. I specifically want these workbooks to be bespoke, as I want to meet the needs of each student no matter the level of their ability, age, economic background, and the resources available throughout their school. For these specifically designed workbooks, my idea is to meet with teachers throughout the year to discuss their ideas for STEM projects at primary school level, and I would take their ideas and implement art in appropriate ways to elevate the projects that encourage artistic practices. These artistic practices would include both traditional and digital formats. For traditional, students can draw, sketch, and colour. When using digital, pupils can use either mobile phones or school cameras to capture their projects, which can be seen in the workbook's aims and objectives. In addition to this, another artistic practice I wish to have scattered across all workbooks is annotating. Throughout a sketchbook, students annotate what they have made, and I think that this practice can be transferred into STEAM workbooks that assist students throughout their projects. On screen is a sample of a page where students can annotate. Depending on the age and level of the students, which would be previously agreed upon with the teacher, students could draw or I would provide an illustration of a piece of equipment that they would use, as I have done so here, and students could label and give descriptions. I have also given an additional sample on this of a student that could add colour to a drawing or a drawing I. Another reason why I wish to keep this broad is as each school has a different ethos, set of goals, and expected outcomes from their students, in which I wish to respect throughout these workbooks. Workbooks are excellent tools for reflecting. This mirrors Sketchbook's ability to allow students to look back at the work they've made before progressing with the project. The NCCA has stated that sketchbooks capture the ideas, creativity, experiments, and explorations of the realised work that students make throughout an art lesson. I believe that with effective planning alongside the primary student's teacher, students can utilise these bespoke workbooks to capture their process of creating the STEM project. I also wish to create opportunities for primary students to use digital media in these workbooks. For art to be present in this section, the students could use photography to document their work. Again, depending on the school and the school's resources, students could use Photoshop to manipulate images and experiment on a digital platform. In addition to this, students could also create digital pages of their workbook on platforms such as Book Creator or Padlet that could be printed out and glued into their physical workbook to record their digital work. Another way to add art into STEM can be to add designs and patterns to students' inventions and structures. This decorative element of art can be seen in the students that I filmed. When reflecting on this experience, I can now see that art and STEM can work alongside one another to aid students' learning at primary school level and beyond. As a newly qualified teacher, I now wish to make plans that can incorporate these STEM subjects and encourage cross-subject learning, as I have already done this with history during my placement in my PME. Thank you for watching my screencast on my experience working in this alternative setting. I would also like to thank the students, teachers, school management, and my classmate who aided in the making of this screencast. On screen is the bibliography for this screencast.